I think government is trying to be smart and identify with the ordinary Ghanaian, but the document doesn't align with that totally. We can understand that from two perspectives. If you look at where we came from, especially 2022, and where we are now, we've made some progress. Yes, some level of recovery, but that recovery is not people-focused. It's a recovery that has left millions of Ghanaians behind. So you can't look at the macro numbers and say that, okay, once we've seen this recovery, then all is well with Ghanaians. Actually, there is a big gap between the macro level development that the government is talking about and then micro household level development where Ghanaians are still going through a lot of challenges. And that is consistent with, you see, when you create economic disruptions, the cost of correcting that can be huge. So, Samson, if you look at it in our history, I want to situate this within our history. This is probably one of the most expensive and pricey economic recovery in our history. Pricey and expensive because of the sacrifices Ghanaians have to go through. And the price that we have to pay are coming through three different channels. Fiscal consolidation through higher taxes. And something, since 2015, if you look at the number of tax adjustments and new tax handles on the continent, no country compares to Ghana. And then beyond that, if you look at what we call the official tax rates, and then the backdoor approach that government has adopted in the last couple of years to collect more money from businesses and households, sometimes through treating the straight levies differently from the VAT. So for instance, if you compare Ghana's standard VAT rate, it will come across as though it's one of the lowest in Africa, 15%. But actually, the effective incidence of the VAT is 21.9% because if you look at the straight levies, it quakes like a duck, and you just have to call it like that. So by treating it as straight levies, you create the impression that your standard VAT rate is very low, but actually the effect, or the cumulative effect of all of that takes the incidence of that tax handle together with the straight levies to almost 21.9%, and it's counterproductive. You don't need a prophet to tell you if your standard VAT rate or the effective VAT rate at the end of the day goes beyond 18%, it's counterproductive. So that's another level. So something overall, we say that yes, we've made some progress at a very pricey level, very costly, but we are not out of the woods yet. If you look at it from the perspectives of the way we will look at economics, macroeconomic stability, as we are talking about, is not the same as development. It's not the same as transformation. It's just a means to an end. To talk about economic transformation and inclusive productivity growth, you first need to guarantee macroeconomic stability. That's the dominant view in economics. It will take a while, and the consistency is very important before this macro level development will translate to micro and household level improvement. And I can give you specific examples. If you look at the data from the World Bank, actually poverty at the lowest end has been increasing from 2021 through 2022, 2023, and the forecast all the way up to 2025, 2026 is projected to increase. The other interesting thing to bear in mind, and what I spoke about, international poverty at 2.15 USD in 2017 purchasing parity terms was 24.8% 2021. It's gone up to 25.8% 2022, 30.3% 2023, forecast 2024, 32.9%, 33.2%. But something, this is where probably you have captured. Lower middle income poverty rate is rather high, 47% in 2021, projected 50.2% 2022, 55.3% 2023, and by forecast, 58.7% 2020. That is lower middle income poverty. When it comes to upper middle income poverty, it's even high, 76.7, 78.9, 82. It's simply also because of the impact of inflation and the rest of them. If you look at vulnerable employment, if you look at the percentage of the youth that are not in school, are not in employment, don't have any skill, we are hitting close to 2 million. If you put all these things together, and even if you look at how many Ghanaians were pushed into poverty in 2022 alone because of inflation, the question is...
That was almost 900,000,
yes.
according to the
and since then, more people are...
That was extreme poverty.
Yes, and a lot of people are joining that pool. So the question is, how many people have this recovery lifted out of extreme poverty? How is this recovery carrying Ghanaians along? So that's why we are saying that this recovery is not people-focused. Because if you look at the dynamics right now, it will also be too early to judge the IMF program at the micro and the household level, because it will take a while before all of this. So I think what we need right now is a certain level of humility and assurance to Ghanaians that we need to sacrifice a little bit long, hopefully, that in good times we'll be able to share it among every Ghanaian, but we are not there yet.
All right.